Did you know a restaurant owner chose bankruptcy over poisoning her customers? Maria discovered her food supplier was selling expired ingredients at half price. Other restaurants in town were buying them too. Her business was failing. She desperately needed those savings. Instead, she switched to legitimate suppliers and reported the fraud. The costs nearly destroyed her. But word spread about her integrity. Customers started choosing her restaurant specifically because they trusted her. Within 2 years, she had the busiest restaurant in town. Sometimes doing right costs everything up front, but pays back forever. A medical student discovered her best friend was running a cheating ring that had operated for years. She knew reporting it would destroy their friendship and make her a social outcast. But she also knew these cheaters could become doctors. Doctors who might harm patients because they never actually learned the material, so she turned them in. Her friend never spoke to her again. Other students avoided her for weeks. Then something unexpected happened. Professors started noticing her integrity. Classmates began seeking her out as a study partner they could trust. She earned respect that lasted far longer than any friendship built on lies. A department manager got an order that made his stomach drop. Fire his best employee to make room for the CEO's nephew. The nephew had 0 qualifications. His top performer was brilliant, hard-working, respected by everyone. He could have followed orders, kept his head down, protected his own career. Instead, he said no. Then he documented everything. Every email, every conversation, every piece of evidence. The investigation that followed cleared out the corruption at the top. He got promoted to regional director. Sometimes doing the right thing is the smartest career move you'll ever make. Maria was counting her last $20 when she found an envelope in the employee bathroom. $10,000 cash. Her mother's medication cost $300 a month she couldn't afford. She stared at that money for 10 minutes. No cameras, no witnesses. Then she walked straight to her manager's office. The envelope belonged to the district supervisor who'd been conducting interviews. He was so impressed by her honesty, he offered her the assistant manager position that same day. Sometimes doing the right thing when nobody's watching is exactly when someone is. A public defender found the smoking gun that would free her innocent client. But there was a problem. The evidence also proved her own prestigious law firm had buried the same proof years earlier to protect a wealthy client. She stared at those documents for hours. Her career, her reputation, her financial security, all hanging in the balance. She could have quietly used the evidence to free her client and buried the rest. No one would have connected the dots. Instead, she called a press conference and exposed everything. The fallout was swift. She was fired, blacklisted, and couldn't find work anywhere. For 8 months, she struggled to pay rent while fighting lawsuits from her former firm. Then something unexpected happened. A coalition of civil rights organizations had been watching. They offered her a position leading their legal advocacy division. Today, she runs a nonprofit that has freed over 40 wrongfully convicted people. She says the hardest part wasn't losing her job. It was realizing she had been part of the problem. Sometimes doing right means losing everything to find what actually matters. Maria was counting her last $20 when she found an envelope in the employee bathroom. $10,000 cash. Her mother's medication cost $300 a month she couldn't afford. She stared at that money for 10 minutes. No cameras, no witnesses. Then she walked straight to her manager's office. The envelope belonged to the district supervisor who'd been conducting interviews. He was so impressed by her honesty, he offered her the assistant manager position that same day. Sometimes doing the right thing when nobody's watching is exactly when someone is. An electrician found his company using cheap, dangerous wiring in family homes to cut costs. He could have stayed quiet, kept his job, looked the other way. Instead, he reported them to safety inspectors, knowing it meant losing everything. They fired him immediately. Other companies wouldn't hire him. His reputation was destroyed. But 6 months later, the lead inspector offered him a position. Then his own consulting business took off. Today, he runs the most trusted electrical company in the city. He chose families over his paycheck and discovered that integrity builds the strongest foundation of all. A 17-year-old cashier noticed something wrong. His manager was overcharging elderly customers who never checked their receipts. When his boss pressured him to join the scheme, he refused. Instead, he secretly documented everything. Photos of receipts, video recordings, names and dates. He reported it to corporate, knowing he might lose his job. The investigation revealed thousands stolen from vulnerable seniors. His manager was fired. The company promoted him to assistant manager and paid for his college tuition. Sometimes doing the right thing costs you everything. Sometimes it gives you everything. He chose integrity over easy money, and integrity chose him back. A construction foreman noticed something wrong with the concrete being poured for a new apartment building. The contractor was using cheap substandard mix to save money. The building could collapse. He had two choices: stay quiet and keep his job, or speak up and lose everything. He chose to report it. Just like he expected, he was fired immediately. Word spread fast in the industry. No one would hire him. For months, he struggled to pay his bills. His reputation was destroyed, but the investigation proved he was right. The concrete was dangerously weak. Hundreds of families would have been at risk. The city was so impressed with his courage that they offered him something unexpected: a job leading safety inspections for the entire municipality. His willingness to sacrifice his career actually saved it. Now he makes sure construction projects across the city meet safety standards. He earns more than he ever did before. When people ask if he regrets speaking up, he says no. He'd rather sleep well at night than sleep in a house built on lies. Sometimes doing the right thing costs you everything, until it gives you everything back. A college sophomore had everything: his dream fraternity, the perfect social circle, campus popularity. Then they asked him to help haze new pledges. Dangerous stuff that could seriously hurt someone. He walked away, lost his friends overnight, ate lunch alone for weeks, but he reported what he saw. The investigation led to real changes on campus. Students he'd never met started approaching him. Professors noticed his integrity. Leadership opportunities opened up. A year later, he had genuine friends who respected his values. Sometimes losing the wrong people helps you find the right ones. Did you know a night shift Uber driver once found a phone that could have made him millions illegally? Marcus was drowning in bills. His daughter's college tuition was due next week. He had no idea how he'd pay it. Then he found a passenger's phone filled with insider trading secrets worth millions in illegal profits. He could have used the information. No one would have known. Instead, he drove across town to return it. That passenger turned out to be an FBI agent investigating financial crimes. Marcus became the key witness who helped stop a major corruption scandal. The FBI's reward program paid him $50,000. But more importantly, his testimony opened doors he never expected. The case made headlines. Business leaders noticed his integrity. Job offers poured in from companies wanting honest employees. Today, Marcus runs security for a major investment firm. His daughter graduated debt-free. He could have chosen quick money through crime. Instead, he chose something more valuable, a reputation that opened every door that mattered.
In ancient Egypt, Joseph, a Hebrew slave, rose to power by interpreting Pharaoh's dreams. His brothers, who once sold him into slavery, came seeking food during a famine. Joseph tested them by placing a golden goblet in Benjamin's sack, accusing him of theft. This act revealed their remorse and unity, leading to a heartfelt reunion. The goblet, a symbol of divine providence, taught forgiveness and redemption. Joseph's wisdom and faith turned betrayal into blessing, showing that even in adversity, God's plan prevails. This story of reconciliation resonates today, reminding us of the power of forgiveness. In the stillness of the night, Jacob wrestled with a mysterious figure by the river Jabbok. As dawn broke, the figure revealed itself as an angel, blessing Jacob and renaming him Israel. This struggle symbolized Jacob's transformation and the birth of a nation. It teaches us that through perseverance and faith, we can overcome our inner battles and emerge stronger. Just as Jacob's encounter changed his destiny, our challenges can lead to profound growth. Embrace your struggles, for they may be the echoes of divine purpose. In a world where silence reigned, a single laugh echoed through the void. "Why so serious?" it teased, tickling the air with its lightness. The clouds parted, revealing a sun that danced to the rhythm of joy. A whisper spread. "Laughter is the key," it said. unlocking hearts once sealed by sorrow. The trees swayed, joining the chorus of giggles that filled the land. "Join us," the laughter beckoned, weaving through dreams and waking moments alike. And so, the world learned to smile again, each chuckle a step towards a brighter tomorrow.
A veteran nurse discovered her hospital was dangerously understaffed. Patients were at risk every single day. She could have stayed quiet, kept her head down, protected her career. Instead, she documented everything and filed a formal report. Her colleagues turned on her. Management tried to force her out. She almost lost everything she'd worked 20 years to build, but she kept detailed records of every safety violation. 6 months later, the state investigation validated her claims. The hospital was forced to hire more staff and improve protocols. Then something unexpected happened. A competing hospital, impressed by her integrity, offered her a director position with a 40% raise. Her former colleagues, who had shunned her now, sought her advice on patient safety. She said later, "I thought speaking up would end my career. Instead, it gave me the career I always wanted." Sometimes doing the right thing costs you everything you have to gain everything you need. One nurse's courage didn't just save patients, it saved her own future.